What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over my watch list for the trading week of May 9th, 2022. Let's get to it. Alright, some catalysts for this upcoming week. On Wednesday, the April CPI data comes out. We're also seeing a rising number of COVID cases in China. So with that, they could have some lockdowns and that could bring about additional supply chain issues. And of course, the inflation concerns are heavy on the market. So with that, we may have a lot of volatility in the market. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the companies with earnings this week. All right, so quite a few small cap companies that were popular in 2020 are having earnings this upcoming week, like Palantir, Lordstown Motors, Tattoo Chef, Workhorse, and even Plug Power. Now, these companies have been beaten down to the point where I'm not sure they'll give me the range that I'm interested in playing. So I'll just keep my eye on them, but I will be watching to play companies like Biontech, Roblox, Coinbase, Disney, and Tapestry. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at our watch list. All right, so the first thing I like to take a look at is the QQQ. Now, this is the index that tracks the overall tech sector. And I like to use this as a barometer to see whether the market is being bullish or bearish towards the tech stocks. If it breaks above certain levels, then I know it's being bullish. If it fails to hold other levels, then I know it's being bearish. Now, we did talk about this $316.50 level last week. And if I zoom in a little bit more right here, you can see that we had three good days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, to the upside. It did come below this 316, but it rallied up on Monday, closed above, stayed above on Tuesday with this little spinning top right here. And Wednesday, it really pushed to the upside when we got that news from Jerome Powell. But you can see on Thursday and Friday, it sold off, and Friday it failed to hold this $316 level. So this upcoming week, I'm looking for it to test this 316 again. If it gets rejected, then I'm looking for it to come all the way down to around $300 this upcoming week. If it breaks above and stays above on Monday, then we may have some upside to it. But like I said, you got to play what you see, okay? So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the stocks that we're looking at this week. All right, so the first one we're going to look at is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart because the daily chart is just too choppy looking. All right, you can see last week Apple barely had a green week overall, but you can see it held this $153.25 level that we had marked off from last week. Gotta stretch this out because this next level is really close to it. Now, what I'm looking for this upcoming week is if Apple can't hold this $153.25, right now it's sitting at $157, okay? If it comes down and can't hold this $153.25, I'm looking for it to test this consolidation range that starts around $151.50. If it can't hold that, then I'm looking for it to come down to around $148. There's a lot of buyers in here that's trying to keep Apple up, so I don't see it really falling all the way down to a 145, but anything's possible. So keep these levels on your watch list. If it can't hold $153.25, I'm looking for it to come down to around $151. Now, if Apple is bullish this upcoming week, I'm looking for it to test around $160, okay? Last week, it did get all the way up to almost $166, $167, but I don't see that happening this upcoming week. I'm looking for it to test this $159 and possibly get rejected. And when I have these levels like this, if I'm in a call and when Apple gets really close to this level, I'll go ahead and sell. I don't wait for a rejection and then lose some money on that. When it gets to any of these levels, either to the up or to the downside, I sell and then reassess right after that, okay? So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is going to be Biontech, ticker symbol BNTX. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart here. Now this company has earnings pre-market on Monday, so it's too late for me to get into any calls or puts for this one. But as the parent company for Pfizer, who had earnings last week and beat, I'm looking for this one to run in pre-market. So what I'll be doing is playing the aftermath of the earnings, okay? So in pre-market, I'm looking for this one to come up and test around $151. Right now it's sitting at $136, so that'll be a nice run up. If it blows through 151, the next level that I have is around $176. The higher this goes, the better the sell-off will be. All right, so I'm looking for it to test these two levels and then not be able to hold and come all the way back down again. So so keep these levels on your watch list. The ones that I'm watching the most is 151, 176. If it breaks through 176, the next level that I have is around $184 before this gap fill that needs to be filled right here. But with the low volume in the market that we're seeing for the last few weeks, I don't see it running this high, but anything can happen. But I'm looking for it to test right here at 151. If it breaks through, then I'm looking for it to test around 176. One of these, I'm looking for it to get rejected, and then I'll buy puts right there all the way back down to around 150. If it can't hold this, then I'm looking for it to come all the way down to where it is right now, around $136. Okay, so keep this one on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is Disney, ticker symbol DIS. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart, and the last time we talked about Disney, it was sitting around $128. Since then it's sold off and sitting around $110 right now. Now Disney doesn't report earnings until after hours on Wednesdays, so a lot could happen between now and then, but we're just going to go ahead and talk about what we see right now. Now on the bullish side, Disney does have a couple of good things going for it. Their parks are completely open at 100% capacity, and their cruise ships are now back on the water. So that should help their earnings numbers to the upside. Now, throughout the week, if Disney can hold this $110 level, I'm looking for it to pop up to around $115, $116 and then sell off again. All right, because it seems as though even companies that have good earnings, they can't hold their gains. It just gives it all right back. All right. Now on the bearish side, Disney is involved in a lawsuit with the state of Florida, but I'm not sure if that'll affect their earnings at all. But if Disney decides it wants to sell off and it cannot hold this $110 level, I'm looking for it to come down and test around $108.50. If it can't hold that, let's zoom out and you can see that back in June of 2020, it bounced off around $108. Okay. If it can't hold that, I'm looking forward to test this consolidation range from all the way back in 2017, all right, which is around $100. This should be a very strong level for Disney, and I don't see it dropping below that. But if it does, I'm looking for it to come all the way down to around $90. This is a huge range for this one, but you can see from sitting at around $200 to $100, anything is possible with this stock, all right? So let's go ahead and keep this one on our watch list and see what happens. All right, and the last one we're going to be looking at is CyberArk software, ticker symbol CYBR. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart here. And if you're not familiar with this company, they're in the IT security space. Now, even though there's a heightened focus on hacking and cybersecurity as a whole, it hasn't saved this company from selling off quite a bit. You can see in the last 3 weeks, it's gone from around $180 to down to around $126. Now, with the market being the way it is, I don't see that it stops selling off before their earnings. So I'm looking for it to test around $121 before their earnings on Thursday pre-market. Okay. Now, if it does have good earnings, the highest I'm looking for this one to bounce is around $143. Okay. If they don't have good earnings, I'm looking for it to come down and test around $113.50. You can see this consolidation range of 3 weeks from back in June of 2021. It did bounce and go on a run from here. So buyers did come in right here. Now, if it can't hold this $113.50 level, it could possibly come all the way down to around $105. So for the bullish scenario, a high of around $143.50. On the bear scenario, the maximum low I'm looking for it to come down to around $105. Now, when it comes to the options on this one, it's not very highly traded, so you'll be at the mercy of the market makers because the bid and the ask on these puts and calls are pretty wide. So if you're going to play this one, make sure that you size in small and play what you see. All right. And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Here's wishing you a happy Mother's Day and a prosperous week of trading. And until next week, talk to you later.